Hello everybody and welcome back to NCAA 2004 in the Duke, now Penn State Dynasty mode here, and we are following our second straight very successful season here, only faltering once all year long here, but we did manage to beat Ohio State, beat beat Goliath, and grabbed a Big Ten title, which of course punched us a ticket to the Rose Bowl to play an undefeated UCLA, which gets passed up for an unknown team that we will see later in the video here, a mid-major team that for some reason, I don't know it's a mid-major team, but I'm going to assume that it is. It's got to be at least North Texas or Colorado State. Normally I record the second part of the video before I record the first part, but this time I am recording the bowl game first, so I also do not know who it is later on in the video. I don't know the stats. Well, I know the stats because I looked at our roster before to record this video, but I don't know, the full totality of our numbers and everything like that. So, and what happens after the season. So I'm going into this completely blind normally here. Okay, completely blind. And so if you're thinking maybe that ruins things, I also record these and I like watch while that records. I already know what happens in the bowl games, before I record them anyway. You know what I mean? So not to tear down the fourth wall and break the illusion here, but it's all my acting, guys. It's all my acting. So UCLA is an interesting team, of course. Every year we play an interesting team in these bowl games here. But Mike Walker has not thrown for a ton of yards here, but he's rocking a 27-5 ratio and is completing 61% of his passes, okay? And then the Bruins also have two running backs over 1,000 yards. So I mean, both aspects of the game we probably need to be careful and watch out for. We have the defense for it, but UCLA is boasting a pretty strong offense that we're going to have to really try and fight to score some points against here, or at least to keep up with them. So Walker already flexing that arm, and he's going to grab interception number 6 just to start the game off, just to take the edge off here. He's going to start the game off with an interception of his own. So we already have a primed opportunity here in UCLA territory. So Boyer back to pass here, and he's going to take a deep shot down towards the end zone, and that pass is caught for a touchdown. And we have already struck first in this bowl game here. Just absolutely laid up by Boyer. A home run shot, a deep ball downfield. Boom, just right in the breadbasket, baby, just right in the bucket. So Boyer already flexing some of that arm here, and it's just nice to see that we have a returning face at quarterback in Boyer returning here. So on a 3rd and 8 for UCLA here, Walker's going to try and bail on the play here, but he's going to get caught up by the ankles. Thought he had a clear running lane, but that lane quickly swallowed up here by this amazing Penn State defense. So UCLA having to make a decision on 4th down. It's a long kick on 4th and 6. The kick is up, and it's got the distance, but it does not have the angle, and that kick is no good. So we're going to keep UCLA at a big old goose egg on the scoreboard. I would assume not for long, but it is a big old fat goose egg on the scoreboard for now with the missed field goal. So UCLA, just a couple miscues early in this game here, kind of keeping them down. But if they can start clicking on all cylinders, we might be in trouble. So on another 3rd and 3 here, they're going to try and go with the fullback dive to try and pick up the rest of what they need. Give it off to John Paul Altman, the fullback. And once again, our strong defensive front just not giving an inch here to UCLA's offense, man. So another field goal attempt here. This one a little bit closer, but still a very long field goal to make, and the kick is up, and yeah, man, it is good. So he's definitely got plenty of leg, man. It's just he's got to get the angle down, but he nails that one. So 7-3 is your score after 1 quarter of play. UCLA still firmly in this game here, but of course, a sketchy one, to be sure here. A low-scoring one to start off. Boyer again wants a home run shot towards the end zone, just oversails his man here, and that one's going to get picked off just about in the end zone. So now both quarterbacks with a blunder to their name in this game here, as Boyer that was more like an arm pun, but he was trying to get it to the end zone, just put a little bit too much mustard on that one. So now UCLA is going to make us pay for it here, and here is the running game, just flexing that muscle, man, and it is Seymour Jennings, one of the top running backs here. One of the two of them, and or actually no, it's not Jennings, it's the other one, Adrian Burton, who is the top running back here. Both of these running backs are averaging more than 5 yards a carry here, but Burton is averaging less. He's averaging a yard and some change less than Jennings is, who's listed above him, but Burton has the better numbers on the year, and that certainly helped him, probably got him over the 1,200 threshold. So yeah, it is just it's a good running team here. And then here is Altman, again, the fullback, just making us pay for it through the air, catching one in the flat here and getting a 15-yard reception, and now UCLA set up perfectly here with a goal to go at about about the 6 or 7 yard line, and Walker back to pass. Pressure's on immediately, but that's what happens when you commit to the pass game here and send about 7 guys. You're going to leave quite a bit of people open in the end zone, and that was certainly the game plan here for Penn State, and it did not work out. So now UCLA not only comes back in this game, but they have taken the lead here 17-10 at the end of the first half. So we got to get something clicking on offense here in the second half, and now we are here with goal to go on 3rd and goal. Boyer looking over his options, plenty of time, has an open receiver, and I believe it's Thomas again. And Tyrese Thomas, who was so dominant for us in the Capital One Bowl last season, and that one he just couldn't track it, I guess. It was on his hands, but just couldn't track the ball well. So on a 4th and goal, the kick is up, and it is good. So we at least add some points here. It doesn't really change our situation. Probably would have liked Fred Kirk to go for that on 4th and goal, but playing it safe here. We have plenty of time left in this ball game, so we just got to stay alive for another drive here, and that's exactly what we did. Now making the lead just 4 points for UCLA here. We're back into this one 13-17, but we're entering the 4th and final frame of this game here, so UCLA could really put things away with another score or two, and Walker somehow just mossing a defender here. I believe it was Chris Chester, the safety, who just got completely mossed by UCLA receiver. We'll get another angle at this, another look at it as Walker back to pass here, just completely, fires a kind of a wobbler. It was a bit of a wobbler. Did you guys see that? I think it was a bit of a wobbler. I'm trying to see what receiver it was for UCLA. It was Serge Powell. Serge Powell, one of the top receivers here. He's a freshman too, mind you, a freshman for UCLA. So, but we got a huge boost that we absolutely needed here. It's just, I don't know, somehow on a 4th down here, Derek Wise gets behind the defense, and it's just off to the races, man. So he's homeward bound, or actually it wasn't Wise, but a risk to be taken no less here, and it just completely pays off as it's one of the tight ends below Vic Huffman here on our depth chart, of course. It's always the backup guys. The ones I don't write down, it's always who it ends up being here. And so that gets us in play here. We do not get the 2-point conversion, so 24-19 is your score. And now we get a huge interception. This one's heading the other way here. Walker able to make the touchdown saving tackle, but we've gotten another crucial interception exactly when it mattered, man. So we took a huge risk on the last drive and was able to get at least back in this game, and now we have some life here as UCLA was trying to run the clock out, and just under 2 minutes here, Boyer takes a shot towards the end zone. It's Tyrese Thomas coming down with it, surrounded by Bruin defenders in the end zone, and that's going to give us the lead, baby. We're at least going to have a 1-point lead, and we're probably going to send out the offense to run a 2-point conversion attempt, at least make this a 3-point game over the Bruins here, but it's dangerous. It's sketchy nonetheless here. We're in a precarious position here because there's still plenty of time left on the clock with 1:47 left to go. We're going to go with the pitch play here, and there's a chance, but not nearly enough, man, as we couldn't get nearly enough good blocks to clear the way for Bubba Holmes to get into the end zone, and so that play is snuffed out, and so the lead's going to remain by 1 point, man, 25-24 on a 4th and inches now for UCLA. They just need a couple inches. Play is broken up immediately, and there's pressure in the backfield, and it's not going anywhere, and we snuffed that play out on defense, man. We've been so physical in the trenches. So physical. That is just what the Big Ten is. We are physical in the trenches. So on a 2nd and 4 here, we're going to hand it off to the fullback to finish this game off, and Fred Gay is able to get the first down, and now UCLA has some timeouts, so it doesn't matter because there's only a minute and change left, and we are in field goal range here to kind of put this one away, and that's exactly what we do, man. So 28-24 is going to end up being your final score in the Rose Bowl, essentially a home game for UCLA. But this one had some stakes on it, a trophy to be won, and we managed to win it, man. So a huge performance here in the Rose Bowl. This was some adversity, man. We saw adversity in Fred Kirk's tenure with Duke that, did not really, it showed it was concerning because the Duke offense was not performing nearly at the level that it should have been. And now we have a team with a lot of talent, and now we're seeing them actually perform in these bowl games and overcome this adversity. So it's good to see here that kind of flip here with Fred Kirk in a much bigger program. So looking over the stats of this game here, it's not really jumping off the page exactly why we won. It's a very close game in most stats. And I think, honestly, the thing is timing, dude. UCLA missing the field goal. It wouldn't have won them the game, obviously, but that's points left on the board, and then when they had the turnover as well, that was a big thing too. So, but that is how this Rose Bowl is going to end, and now we are going to send it off back to the Hub World, back to future me, to record the rest of the video, and we'll see exactly what that gross national championship was, because I'm sure it was really bad. Alright, so now it's time to get into the rest of our festivities here and get into the next season. But of course, we have to look at the national championship. I think I can do it without having to see it. Yeah, okay, so we're going to simulate the rest of the bowls here and see just how bad things, see how bad things are. Okay, so we actually get a contract extension here. So we are 22-4 so far in our 2 years with the Nittany Lions here. We've done great against the top 25. We've absolutely crushed our rivals in the process here. We've been to 2 bowl games in our first 2 seasons, and we've even won the Big Ten, which was one of our contract stipulations. We have not won the Natty, which is what the school would really prefer, which I think we could probably do next season. It depends how much we lose, because we are going to be losing a lot of this roster in this offseason, so I don't know if we'll be able to immediately reload and get that national championship team by next season, but we'll see. The prestige is up to 6, so we should probably have an influx of blue chips wanting to come here in this offseason, but we will absolutely see. But we're certainly going to extend this. Now, I will take a second to talk about the future of this series here. I was talking about it in a comment thread. I don't want to run the series for too much longer, because when you think about it, each part is a season. So we're in part 14, I think, and so it's about 14 seasons, and we're entering the 15th in this video. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be, we've already done a lot of years in this series, and so if we could win maybe like 1 or 2 national championships with Penn State, like do like a good handful of seasons with Penn State and win a natty or 2, then it'll probably end there, and then I'll just do the next series, which is going to be a longer form series, much like the Bills thing. We're probably going to pick a mid-major school and just kind of do that whole route. And not going to do a coach thing. We're just going to stick with the mid-major school and just do kind of the small-time thing here. So, or maybe we might go to like the Big 12 or Pac-10, because I haven't really focused on those conferences yet either. So I'm just kicking it around right now, thinking out loud, but just telling you guys what to expect from this series moving forward. So there probably aren't too many episodes of this one left here, because we're just going to see if we can win a couple natties, maybe 1 or 2 with Penn State, and then we'll just get on out of here. We'll assume that Fred Kirk took an NFL job and moved on up, right? That's what we'll say. But we're going to take this contract extension, obviously, because we are not done here in Penn State. We've got things left to do. But let's look at the national championship, because it's probably really gross. It's probably really bad. Well, North Texas is here. They did finish 12-1, somehow ranked 14th, but they blew out Boston College. Goodness gracious, 49-0. But North Texas is here, so they are not in the national championships. If you guess North Texas, you are wrong. Moving forward, also, Wake Forest finished 13-0, and they didn't even get a chance. So we had 2 12-0 Power 6 programs in Wake Forest and UCLA that did not make it to the BCS National Championship. So that only makes it more of a head-scratcher on who actually did make it. And it's Colorado State and West Virginia. So West Virginia out of the Big East and Colorado State out of the Mountain West. Somehow, Colorado State makes it over. We'll just, out of curiosity, why not? I'm feeling good today. Why not? We'll look at Colorado State's schedule and see if there's any reason why they should have made it. So, okay, their schedule is bad. They have a good win against Air Force, but that is a conference game, so I don't know if this win over Utah is pretty good, but again, I think that's still a conference game. So outside of that, they beat Colorado, who's pretty good. That's a Big 12 opponent. It's pretty good. They also beat Tennessee. It's an SEC opponent, and they beat Oregon, which is a Pac-10 opponent. So they beat 3. And I just glossed over Georgia Tech, which is an ACC opponent. So, yeah, Colorado State definitely did put together quite the resume here. None of these teams are all that great, but, if you're a mid-major playing exclusively P6 talent, and UConn is also in the ACC now because of what happened with Duke, so that's another one. You know what I mean? So, if you exclusively are playing P6 talent at a conference, that's pretty impressive. So I guess, yeah, Colorado State does certainly have a claim, to play for a national title. I'm not going to dispute that here. They certainly do. Probably over teams like Wake Forest and UCLA, which probably didn't play nearly as good a teams here. The computer probably didn't favor them nearly as much. But now it's time to look through the stats here. We've lollygagged for a few minutes now, so it's time to look over our stats. So once again, Chris Boyer and Keenan Handy share reps this season, probably due to some injury. And Keenan Handy just continues to struggle, man. He struggled his entire time here, just never really put it completely together. His freshman season was his best, and that's just not a great place to be. But Keenan Handy, man, did his best to really help lose us a lot of games this season, and by the grace of God, we did not. I don't know how, but Chris Boyer was better than Keenan Handy was, but still kind of a down year. His completion percentage is at least at the 60 threshold, which I like. That's cool, but clearly threw less passes, so I don't know. Look into that however you want to, but didn't get a whole lot from the quarterback position. That's what we'll say. So Chris Boyer should be coming back here, and hopefully he has a whole healthy season. This is why I turned off the injuries in my Northwestern series, and I think I might have turned it off in my Bama series and just forgot that I did. But typically why I turn them off is because they just get out of hand in this game, and they just always derail your stuff. Like, people get injured in college football all as well. Like, it's a realistic thing, but I mean, every year we're splitting time with quarterbacks, and then just after a while it gets annoying. You just don't want to do it anymore. But Bubba Holmes takes a majority of the rushing reps this season, and he does not disappoint here. Over 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns. I have no idea as far as Penn State records go. I would assume with guys like Saquon Barkley, as Penn State alums. It's probably not any kind of impressive records here, but Bubba Holmes, great season for him. Tyrus Thomas gets over the 1,000 threshold here in his junior season. It's his second straight year of doing that. It's basically identical year to the one he had last year. O.J. Rowe had a decent year, but he's a senior, so that's the last we're going to be seeing of him. Vic Huffman also had a decent year as far as touchdowns go, and we'll be seeing him, hopefully, again. We have tight ends behind him, so if he leaves early, it shouldn't be shocking. Same with Tyrese Thomas. If he leaves early, it should not be super shocking here. So Kevin Langford in his senior season has his best season on the offensive line here. Great season from him. Jordan McDowell, a decent season as well. A huge step up. It's kind of a fall from where he was in his freshman and sophomore seasons, but big step up from his junior year, so we will take it. Deshaun Mitchell here, kind of a mixed bag at center here, but a better season than last year, so we will certainly take it. And then Clifford Billings, man, this dude, his production also kind of halved here, but only allowing 1 sack all year. That's something I will certainly take. Then everyone else kind of struggled a little bit here, rotating in. Nothing super great. Okay, LeBron Pierce finally puts it all together here, gets over that 100 tackle threshold here. 5 sacks on the year in his junior season. Another junior we could probably expect to want to leave early. I would hope not, but it is certainly possible. So TFL leaders, we finally have 4 with double digits, so our defensive numbers should be way better than what they probably were last year, which is already really good. Deshaun Thomas gets first team All-American honors. We haven't had a lot of All-Americans in this series, just period. Between Duke and Penn State, we have not had a lot. Remember in the Bama series, we always had at least like 5 or 6 every season, but in this one, we've struggled to get a lot of All-Americans. So Deshaun Thomas gets them with 20 TFLs, 93 tackles, and 9 sacks, along with 4 interceptions. So he was everywhere, dude. Another junior we might be losing. And then Darnell Glenn has a great season himself, man. Not a lot of accolades, but 8 sacks, absolutely, man. It's probably second on the team, 13 TFLs and 83 tackles. You'll happily take that every day. 6 ways to Sunday, you'll take it. And then, yeah, sack numbers are pretty good, too. A lot of sacks. We're typically been a team that can get to the quarterback pretty well, so the sack number should be pretty decent. And the interceptions, we've got 3 guys with 4. There we go. And they're all All-Americans, so cool. So Chris Archie also gets All-American honors here, and then Curtis Chester gets on the second team All-American status. So we've got a few All-Americans on our defense, man. We had a great defense, and that really showed in the UCLA game. That's really what ended up shining through was our defense. And then Solomon McClevey, man, great season from him kicking, man. That's a good year. So that probably helped out with a lot of the quarterback turmoil that we experienced. So not super shocking there. Looking at our stat rankings here, so the offense is it's in the top end of the Big Ten, but there's considerably more teams better than us offensively, which is kind of weird when you consider how well we did. But yeah, these numbers don't inspire a lot here. You'd think with Bubba Holmes' great season, the rushing numbers would be better, but 53rd is where we sit. Points per game is, I guess, the outlier here. We finished 14th, but that's still worse than 2 other teams in the Big Ten. There were 2 other teams that were scoring more points per game than we were. So I thought we would be the offensive-heavy team in the Big Ten, and everyone else would be a little bit more defensive-minded. But no, there's 2 other teams that were better than us at that in that metric. So we were best, though, in passing TDs. No other team had better passing touchdowns, which is a Big Ten stat. So I called it, what did I call it, man? the Duke Air Raid. Just focusing on throwing the football, and that ended up working here in the Big Ten, obviously still focusing on running the football as much as possible. So, and then we finished 3rd in the conference in rushing TDs and 20th. So the rushing numbers are 53rd, but we come in 20th in rushing touchdowns. We didn't do that well in first down. We didn't have a lot of first downs. That's kind of an alarming stat here. Sacks, we did very good protecting the quarterback this season here. A lot of red zone trips. So that got us 3rd, and then our percentage is even 43rd. So that's 7th in the Big Ten, not very good. So it looks like the entire conference was actually pretty darn good in the Big Ten this season, and we just kind of faltered at 43rd. I'm not even mad about 43rd, but as far as the conference goes, it's not that great. Defensively now. Okay, these numbers are a lot more shocking than I thought. I figured we'd have a much better defensive number here. We were 2nd in the Big Ten in sacks. Interceptions, we were 3rd. Yeah, I mean, dude, just not a lot of great stats jumping off of the page. Again, defensively, man, we are not giving up many attempts at all in the red zone, like at all. and a percentage is fine. So, yeah, the defensive numbers aren't nearly as good as I thought that they would be. So, efficiency-wise, ooh, Lord, man, we took way too many third downs. So we were really not doing a whole lot on first and second down all season long. That's not good. That's not good. But we were completing 50% of our third downs. We were 50-50 on third down. Wow. Very interesting numbers. Very, very interesting numbers. We were completing 80% of our fourth downs. So we were really utilizing all 4 downs. Like, that is the only way we were doing this, is utilizing all 4 downs. That's hilarious, man. It's so funny here. And discipline is kind of all over the place, too. We've kind of been bouncing back and forth with those numbers. So, turnovers, we were really bad. Goodness gracious, man. We turned the ball over a lot, and that is not good at all. And a lot of that's probably Keenan Handy's fault, man. I mean, Chris Boyer had a lot of interceptions himself, but still, man, that's a lot of turnovers, man. That's gross. And so our defense, once again, giving us a lot of opportunities, giving us a positive turnover differential overall, but still, man, just a alarming set of numbers to look at here. So I'm really not seeing an awful lot that inspires a ton of confidence from this season, but it ended well. So I guess we'll take that, and we'll just, take a look and just hope that we don't lose the entire house next season. But we probably will once we get into the offseason. So I'm going to record all the standings and whatnot. I'll tell you guys about anything interesting I see. And then, of course, we'll get into the off-season festivities. Okay, real quickly here, of course, I forgot to go over our own conference's results here. So, of course, we sit atop here. Wisconsin ends up slotting in here at second, probably with wins over Ohio State, which would help them get there. Ohio State drops to third here following an 11-2 season. I think they destroyed Ole Miss in their bowl game. I think that's what they ended up doing. I think in the Capital One Bowl, maybe? I don't know. Wisconsin probably should have went there. I don't know. Illinois finishes 7-6 here at fourth in the conference. Not great here, but they had a good year in conference. So did Minnesota, ends up finishing with a losing record. But they did well in the Big Ten play this season. Michigan at 9-4 with a tough year in conference, drops all the way down to 6th. Purdue here, another kind of meddling season here. Iowa at 8-5, another team with a winning record, but with a terrible season in Big Ten play, dropping them low in the conference. Northwestern here 4-9, Michigan State 3-9, the same caboose that you're used to. Indiana, once again, but no one in the 1-2 win threshold, so I guess that's different, but Indiana's still struggling to just find any sort of momentum or wins in conference play, so can't be super shocked about that, okay? But I recorded everything else, so now we are good to move on into the off-season festivities with, the reigning champs, West Virginia, grabbing another title, so I think it's cool. I don't typically like when the same teams win every year in my Sims. I like a lot of parity, but I think it's cool when it's like different teams, like Virginia Tech winning 4 is cool, West Virginia winning, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool that the Big East is just dominating in my sim. It's great. I think it's fun. But, all right, now let's look at the damage, because this is going to be brutal. Okay, so we only have 3 juniors who are looking to leave here. It's to be expected. Curtis Chester, all of our All-Americans on defense are looking to leave. Chris Archie, I think, is a little bit weird since he's not even at his full potential yet. But Deshaun Thomas and Curtis Chester could probably make an impact on an NFL roster somewhere right now. So Curtis Chester actually leaning towards staying pretty heavily. I don't know. I don't really want to waste the points, because I think we should be okay at the position overall. I mean, we can't replace Curtis Chester in one offseason, but we'll get close. I don't know if I want to waste the points to try and get him to stay. I think we're probably just going to let him go. And then Keenan Handy, of course, graduating, kind of a good riddance scenario. I mean, just not a great situation with Keenan Handy the last couple of years. Bubba Holmes is also gone here, so we're losing a starting quarterback, or not starting quarterback, but back quarterback, starting running back, and starting fullback, as well as one of our top receivers in O.J. Rowe. He's gone as well, losing our starting right tackle in Kevin Langford, another starting tackle in Clifford Billings, more offensive line. So the offensive line is going to need to be completely rebuilt. We talked about that at the end, or not in the end, but when we went over the depth chart last season, the offensive line is going to need to be completely rebuilt. But we obviously have people on the roster already in this area, so like training results should help replace at least a couple of these, but I don't know if we'll be able to replace all 5 offensive line positions with good talent in one offseason. That'll be a big thing to keep an eye on. We're also losing D'Angelo Brown here, and then a lot of linebackers. We're losing a lot of them. So Chris Blackburn and Vincent Stone. Vincent Stone never really got on the field all that much here. He was just one of those kind of guys sitting in the wings here, kind of waiting for his opening, and it never really came. He was just really good, but just, kind of the 3rd best linebacker on his own team. So, unfortunate here. And then Chris Tyson's also leaving, so defense is really going to need a lot of help this offseason. Oh, man, we're also losing Lewis Reynolds. Oh, man, so we might be in trouble. I'm going to throw the points at Curtis Chester and see. I really don't want to. It's a lot of points to try and keep him to stay, dude. It's a lot, but I don't know if we'll be able because we're losing both Reynolds and Chester. That's a huge thing. And then Ronaldo Hewitt's also we're losing at strong safety. So, like, so many starters are leaving this team. I don't know if we can afford to just let guys like this walk, man. We have 700 points. Oh, my God, should I do it? It never works. That's why I don't do it. It never works. Okay, I'm just gonna go against it, and we'll see what we can do at free safety. Hopefully, we can replace it or just find something. I don't know. If not, I'll own that as a coach. That'll be my mistake recruiting wise. That'll be a Fred Kirk blunder. But I think either way, if we don't replace free safety, we should at least still have a good enough defense where it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So we're gonna get into recruiting now and see exactly what I can fix and figure out. Well, guys, the dam finally broke. It's amazing what that sixth little star will do for a program, I tell you what. So, before I get too high and mighty, the immediate needs were fulfilled, but the biggest ones might still be a bit of a question mark. So we'll get into the signings now, take a look at things, and look at all these blue chips, ladies and germs. A couple of number one ranks across here, but look at all of these blue chips, baby. So we grabbed another receiver. We didn't have a roster requirement for a receiver, but obviously losing O.J. Rowe, I wanted to at least replace what we're losing, and I think with a 5-star, we certainly did that. And Julius Winborn from Howell, Michigan, another town that I lived very close to for a long time. You guys are learning a lot. Conrad Barker, outside linebacker from our own state. Our state actually produced a few 5-stars this recruiting cycle around, and we were able to get a lot of them, as you can see on the board here. But Conrad Barker decides to come here, the 8th-ranked linebacker in the country. Pat Bland is a JUCO transfer at left guard, so he should help us out on our offensive line here, a 5-star guard. We also got a running back. There's a 5-star running back in our state that was interested in coming here, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to leave a 5-star running back on the board who has an inkling to come to Penn State, so he's absolutely coming here. And so we grab Jeff Doyle, another transfer. He will probably slot in a little bit well here, maybe with I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. He will certainly rotate in. You know what I mean? Like, he might be good enough to at least, maybe not in this immediate season, but maybe his senior season, he'd be a huge contributor. Khaled Turner, again from Pennsylvania, number one cornerback in the country coming from our state, and he's coming to our school. Of course, that's how it should be. Okay, it's how it should be. Alex Sharp here from New Jersey, left tackle, number one tackle in the country, decides to come here, 6'4". Goodness gracious, these are tall guys. Coming to our school here, so we got a 5-star guard and a 5-star tackle, and another 5-star guard, the second guard in the country. We got the 5th and 2nd ranked guards in the country here. This one from Tennessee, Jefferson City. I believe that's where Eastern Tennessee is, right? Am I right? Or is that Clark? I don't know. Ignore me. Anyway, but more 5-stars, just more of them. We got another 5-star tackle here from Maryland. He's going to come, and so we pretty much did just rebuild the offensive line almost entirely. It's going to be interesting to see what the depth looks like, because, again, these positions weren't at 0. We still have guys on the roster who are good. You know what I mean? Like, we have guys who could start on the roster right now, so it'll be interesting to see how all of these recruits slot in. I guess we'll see after training, right? Keenan West, another 5-star linebacker, the 2nd-ranked linebacker in the country. So we grab the 8th and the 2nd ranked linebacker in the country on our team. We also get the number one defensive tackle in the country. Again, another guy who just wasn't even like on the radar. He just like kind of wanted to come here. So I'm like, sure, dude, I'll throw some points at you. And he came. That's why I'm like, it's amazing what the 6-star prestige does for you, because we're getting guys like this who a year ago would have just completely went with their first choice. So it's great. Another 4-star tackler here. Some of these 4-stars that we grabbed, I just grabbed them for insurance because I wasn't sure if we would get the 5-stars. So we got Micah McDowell here, a 4-star tackle. Not sure if he'll stay. Simeon Rich, a transfer at guard. Not sure if he'll stick around. Okay, so Jerry Hall, 4-star free safety, was the best I was able to get as far as safety goes, free safety goes. So I think we got 2. We'll see the other one. Dallas Vinson, a 4-star fullback, is just going to replace It's just going to replace Frey Gay, so that's basically all that. We have a fullback on the roster, but we needed another one, so that's all that is. Another 4-star guard here. Again, not sure if he'll stick around. And then, yeah, Keenan Greer, another 4-star free safety. So we'll see between the two of these guys which one will probably stick around here, but we needed them, so we have options now. Another 4-star cornerback, a couple 4-star cornerbacks here, another 4-star guard, another 4-star cornerback, and then the game threw me this 3-star defensive end. And I actually recruited this guy, Ruben Gonzalez, because I could not get another strong safety. I couldn't. Not a single one wanted to come here. I'd spent all of our scholarships on the 5 stars that you saw above us and the 4 stars. And so Ruben Gonzalez was the only strong safety that actually wanted to come here. So I think whoever's still left on the roster, I think is good enough to start. It's going to be a bit of a drop-off still, but I think, Ruben Gonzalez is just going to be depth. So maybe in the next season we can figure that out. But for this season, we might just have to use some patchwork, some duct tape to make the strong safety position look respectable. So that's how things are looking. As far as current targets go, the only blue chip that we lost that I was in on is Jermaine Wilson, the number 2 cornerback in the country. He ends up going to Wake Forest. That was it. Everyone else I got. I literally got everyone else. I mean, there's a couple 4 stars that I think ended up leaving. We lost this guy to Virginia Tech, and then we lost another receiver to West Virginia. But I mean, we really didn't need a lot of those guys. I also got the 5-star that I wanted at receiver, so we really did not need all of these guys. So the only one I lost that was a 5-star was Jermaine Wilson to Wake Forest. That's it. So now looking at the top classes, I'd be shocked if it's not us, and it is. Okay, so yeah, we absolutely are putting all of our chips in for a national title run here, getting number 1 recruiting in the country here. North Texas is here at 2 still, so we probably still have to worry about the Eagles, quote-unquote Eagles. We still have to worry about the Eagles entering into the season here. The reason they were 14th, I think they lost probably one of the last games of the season against New Mexico State, so they didn't even win the Sun Belt last year. Because they finished 12-1 and 6-1 in conference, and New Mexico State finished 12-1 and 7-0 in conference. So the Sun Belt is just a two-headed monster right now, just beating each other up for supremacy. UCLA, who we just beat in the Rose Bowl, coming off a Pac-10 title run, are finishing 3rd in recruiting, so that's interesting. Miami, who had a decent season last year, lost out against Wake Forest, I believe, in the Orange Bowl, and they are 4th here. Air Force, who had a great season last year, they are 5th in recruiting. South Carolina throwing their hat back in the ring here, getting up to 6, so we might see the Gamecocks show a little bit of fight in the SEC, which was pretty bad last year. The SEC was really bad. I think there was only one team with double-digit wins, and it was Auburn. I think they finished 10-4. Didn't even win the SEC. Tennessee did. Ends up playing 15 games last year. Weird. Just a weird situation in the SEC all around. Rice is still here, hanging on, still recruiting pretty well here. They had a down year last year, but they're still hanging around. Virginia Tech, again, still keeping things strong here. Only 4 5-stars, so we'll see if Virginia Tech can sustain their level of success here at the top. And then here's New Mexico State at 10th. So New Mexico State and North Texas, the 2 best teams in the Sun Belt, still here in the top 10 of recruiting. That never has happened in any of my sims of this game. I love it. I love seeing the Sun Belt be strong at the top. I think it's hilarious, but just interesting. Kent State, who had a great year, man. Undefeated in MAC play, man. Grabbing a MAC title, rightfully so. Finishing 12-2, they're at 11th. West Virginia, the reigning national champs, dropped all the way down to 12th. And there's a lot of teams in front of them that I think you probably need to worry about if you are West Virginia. I'd be worried about Virginia Tech stepping up, and Miami. I mean, those are the 2 other teams in the Big East that have really been competing every single year. And West Virginia is at the bottom of that totem pole. So Ohio State, the first other Big Ten team in recruiting-wise in this top 25. They are here at 13th, and they finished 13th last year. So no 4-stars, just 3 and 5s. Interesting. So we'll see how much the Buckeyes can sustain their success. They do have a new 5-star quarterback. They got him from our state. He ends up going to Ohio State. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Might be some storylines in our game later this season. Western Michigan. So the MAC, again, so the top of the MAC is just staying strong. I like that the top of the mid-majors are staying pretty consistent. The CUSA's fallen off, I think. But no, the WAC has been pretty strong. The Sun Belt's been very strong. The MAC has been very strong. It's very interesting. It's very interesting to see. Wake Forest drops all the way down to 15th after finishing 2nd in the country or winning the ACC in the Orange Bowl. Colorado State, the national champ runner-up, they are down here at 16th, but a good class from them. Just not a lot of recruits, I think, is what hurts them. Northern Illinois had a great season last year as well, 10-3. They're at 17th. Toledo, another MAC team here with double-digit wins, coming in at 18th. Texas, we haven't heard a lot about Texas or the Big 12 in general, and they're sticking in here. They got a couple Big 10 teams, or Big 12 teams. Kansas State, the reigning Big 12 champs. Notre Dame finally trying to turn their things around here. They finished 12-1 last year. They've been kind of struggling, but they finally put together a good season last year. Maryland throwing their hat into the ring here. Here's Duke. They finished 9-4 last year. No 5-stars, but a ton of 3-stars. So That's what Duke is doing. So they're finally seeing the effects of the recruiting, man. They're still only 4-star prestige, man. And that was after they won, 11, 12 games last year? So it's tough over there, dude. It is tough to do that. It's very tough. I'm not a quitter, man. Okay? I turned them into a winning program. All the success they're seeing, we built, okay? Fred Kirk built that. Fresno State, another WAC team, winning the WAC here at 24th. And Oklahoma, another Big 12 team, closing out the top 25. I guess we'll flip through and see if we can find some other Big 10 teams here. Wisconsin's at 27, so Wisconsin might be finally turning a little bit of a corner here, some consistent recruiting with them. Who else, man? Let's look. Michigan here at 33rd. So some likely names here at the top. Can't be super shocked with a lot of these names. Minnesota at 41, so maybe Minnesota is finally starting to turn a little bit of a corner as well. Again, we'll flip through, find some more maybe. Eesh. No one else in the top 50. That's concerning. Anyone in the top 60. Illinois 68th, I guess. That's not, like, great, I guess. Iowa at 73rd, so they're probably going to get a little bit worse over time here. And then we're going to keep flipping. Northwestern at 81. That's pretty on brand for them. Still not seeing the rest of the caboose here. Michigan State at 88. Can we get everyone inside the top 100 at least? Can I get Indiana here? We got Purdue at 95. Ugh, that's a bad year for them recruiting. Is Indiana going to crack it? No, they're not. Indiana's not going to crack it. Indiana's still struggling to recruit here. 105th is where Indiana falls in recruiting. Yeah, not great at all, man. But could be worse, man. We could have Oregon. Oregon is really struggling. It's not us, man. It's not us. And Idaho finally starting to regress, man. Ugh. After putting it together a little bit, it's all falling apart. It's all falling apart. I know. I'm rambling. I'm going off here on tangents. So now we're gonna get into training and see what the rosters might be looking like. Okay, so we kept a lot of juniors, like LeBron Pierce. Probably the biggest one had the case for graduating early, and he doesn't. He sticks with us here and gets up to a 98, dude. This dude is just absolutely a beast. A man amongst boys. He's going to be one of the great Penn State linebackers. Should I change his number to 11? Right? Should I do that? Yeah, okay, if I remember to do that, I'm going to do that. I'm going to change LeBron Pierce's number to 11. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Maybe you guys would enjoy that, making him number 11. Otis Hess, up to a 92 on the defensive line here. Huge breakthrough. Same with Alfonso Hoover, who's already on the roster. Like I said, dude, we already have tackles on the roster who are good, who could start right away. So all these recruits I brought in probably won't even start, man. But we got a bunch of blue chips all over. So another Andrea Weiss, jeez, sophomore, up to an 80 already. Up to an 80. So this dude could easily crack 90 before he's done. Before he's done here. Keon Samuels up to a 79 here. Darnell Glenn up to a 99. We have two 98, 99 overall linebackers, dude. We are going to be sick. Oh my God. Tyrese Thomas up to a 92 as a senior. Marion Dunbar up to an 87. Bubba Capers up to an 87. So yeah, strong safety's fine. We don't got to worry about it. Lester Moore up to an 86 as a sophomore, so we don't got to worry about it. I mean, dude, oh my God. We're just looking good. Chris Boyer here for senior season up to a 95, so hopefully he gets a healthy season, dude. I'd love to see a full healthy season of Chris Boyer, man. Best QB award winner, potentially, you know? Like punch it, man. Punch it. A lot. Oh, my God, dude. The numbers, just average, high. Just average and high. Yeah, dude, I think we're okay. It's time to get into the depth chart because we're going to be in good shape here. I'm going to have to cut some guys. We're going to look at it. But overall, I mean, I think we'll be in good shape. So let's cut through the cutting, and then we'll get to the depth chart. Or no, actually, hold on, wait a minute. We don't have to cut a lot of guys. We only have two quarterbacks on the roster? That's an issue. I thought we had more. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, boy, that's an issue. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, no. After everything, I thought everything was going well, and it's all going to fall apart. In our lap, it's all going to fall apart. Okay. We're going to cut just a couple guys here. We only need to cut a few. Oh, man. I can't believe we only have two quarterbacks. That just ruins my day here. Okay, I'm going to cut here so we can get to the depth chart. Okay, so quarterback situation might be in a rough spot. We do not have, and they're both seniors. Oh, my God. We're not going to have a single quarterback on the roster next year. That was an oversight on my part. And then considering the injury stuff, there's a realistic chance we run out of quarterbacks this year. Oh, no, man. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's a realistic possibility that we run out of quarterbacks. I really hope to God we don't. I really hope that between Chris Boyer and Donta Haynes, they can figure it out, but no guarantee of either of that. Oh, my God. We just need a healthy season of Chris Boyer. We do. We really do. Okay, running back. So Marion Dunbar is going to start at running back first at his sophomore at 87 overall, and then Clint Hall is right behind him as a senior. These guys will probably split some time here, but I do want Marion Dunbar to be the primary back entering into the season. We do have other running backs. It's not just that we have a fullback who's the third best running back on the team. Well, that is the situation. He is like just the best like third guy on the team here running wise, but we do have other running backs behind him, so I think we're going to be okay. At fullback, we have Ruben Graham, who's going to start at an 82 overall. Wow, actually, hold on. So that means that Dallas Vincent is actually a better running back than he is a fullback. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I mean, he's got the speed, obviously, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But, all right, so Tyrese Thomas up to a 92 as receiver, and then Derek Weiss, 81 behind him. Roberto Lacey at 80 down below him, and then Casey Gibbs down to 80. We are consistent at receiver. We don't got to worry about it. And then our recruits down here, at least Julius Winborn, he's down here at 77. Our recruit from Michigan, he's here. So we're loaded there. Don't got to worry about that. Vic Huffman back for a senior season at 88, tight end. Andrea Weiss is probably going to start for us at left tackle at 80 overall as a sophomore. Tim Crocker is going to start at left guard at a senior, 85. Deshaun Mitchell as senior is going to start at 89 at center. And then Isaiah Moultrie is going to start at right guard at 79 as a freshman. So right guard's a bit of a hole here, but I think we should be okay. And then Alfonso Hoover as a senior is up to 86. So this roster is going to probably be in a worse spot next year than I thought it was. Like what I thought we were heading into, I think it's going to be worse after this coming season. So we should be okay for year 15, or year 15, 16. But for next season, oh my God, God help us. Everyone's going to be gone. Domingo Brandon is going to start on the left side here at 78. Actually, the wrong Pierce. We have to see where the Pierce is going to be playing, man, because it's no guarantee. Phil Morris is going to be on the right side at 82. Now the linebacking core, or no, defensive line, excuse me. Otis Hess, 92 as a junior. Ernest Riley at 86 as a senior. And then we have Glenn Blanchard, the freshman we just brought in at 86, dude. Like, yeah, we're loaded here. We don't got to worry about it. Okay. Keenan West is a freshman on the left side. That's not going to work. Okay, so Darnell Glenn's going to start in the middle. Yeah, okay, so Pierce is going to start on the left side. LeBron Pierce is going to start on the left side. We're going to have Darnell Glenn in the middle, and then we're going to have Deshaun Dorsey start on the right side as an 83. So it's not even bad, but it's just funny because we're so loaded at the position. Like, it's a noticeable drop-off. Okay, so Vic Mays starting cornerback here at an 80 overall as a senior. Steve McDonald's going to be 78 right below him, and then Stanley Hardy's going to be third in the depth chart at 77. Calvin Turner, the freshman, at 77 as well, that we just brought in. We're loaded here, too. We're pretty consistent throughout here. It's not great compared to the rest of the defense, obviously, because everyone else is in the 80s or at least 90s, but, we're at least consistent in the high 70s, so I think we'll be all right. We can hold it together. And then Lester Moore's going to start at 86 as a sophomore at free safety, and then Bubba Capers in his final season at 87, and the next season we will have to figure something out strong safety-wise, man. We're going to have to figure something out. Everything else is going to have to be figured out. So the O-line's, again, probably going to be in a bit of a rough spot if I look at it again here. So, yes, so we're going to be losing our best right tackle here. We're fine at guard. These guys are going to develop, obviously, behind them, so we should be okay there. Center. Another situation where I think we'll develop there. So we definitely have the guys in place to grow, but, they're not where we need, or, they're not at the caliber of our starters right now. So, next season might be a bit of a transitional thing. Quarterback we have to figure out, so, we'll probably be able to get a 4 or 5-star quarterback, at least to start for us, but having to rebuild the entire position group, it's not going to be as successful as we think. So, we have a lot of guys in place that I think are going to continue to grow and develop with this team to where we won't be, completely just at zero at any position in the coming seasons, but the concerning thing is just that there might be a gap in production. We might be missing a gap in production from some aspects of the roster here. We're probably going to have a down year in some position groups. The O-line might be a little bit below here, all in the low to mid-80s, but we could still probably contend in the Big Ten with that. So the thing is, I just want to try to push in for national title this year. I want to see if we can do that. I don't know if we can. We're just going to try and do it. There's a lot of great teams at the top, so we're going to see if we can figure it out. So, all right, so here is our schedule. It's giving us 5-star. I don't know how. Auburn has been good in the SEC, so I kind of like this matchup. Syracuse has been bad. Miami of Ohio I don't think has been good in the MAC either. And then Toledo is ranked. They're one of the best teams in the MAC. I like the challenge. Do you think we should keep it? I've avoided challenge. After saying at the beginning of the series I wasn't going to do that, I've avoided most challenge this entire time. So I think I kind of like this schedule. And the Big Ten shouldn't be that difficult for us. So we can afford to play 1 or 2 difficult out-of-conference games. But 5-star strength, I don't know if I like that. We already come in to rank 2nd. This might be the year that we just kind of take advantage of that and try and see if we can push all in and win that title with a slightly easier schedule. If I make it easier, I'm not going to make it super cupcake. I'm just going to take off, Toledo and maybe play I don't know, a meddling P16 Washington or something. So we'll try that. I'll look through and we'll see what we can cook up here. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. I took off Toledo, but I did add another ranked opponent to keep it there. I added Colorado instead. Maybe Toledo's the smarter game since they're a MAC team, but I don't know. I wouldn't take that. I'm going to try and play Colorado, who was decent last year. Maybe, that could trip us up here early, but it's a little bit of a challenge. And then I added Texas Tech instead of Auburn. I kind of flipped them around, but I added Texas Tech, just another P6 opponent here. They're not terrible. I think they're ranked like 64th or something, so it should be at least a decent competitive game. And we're still at 5 stars. I don't know if Ohio State and Colorado are just doing that for us here, because the rest of the conference shouldn't be that difficult. But either way, I'm going to keep... we're going to look over the coaching strategy and see, because again, I think we're okay with where we're at. I think this is fine. I think we're going to stick with this balance, because I really don't think that this is all that terrible. I think we're okay here. So, all right. So now I'm going to save, and then we're going to run the sim, basically. Well, folks, there's a Big Ten title on the screen here, so that's got to mean that we did something right, I think. We're going to see exactly what we did here once I get away from the screen, but we are back-to-back Big Ten champions in the Big Ten, so that means that we've at least felled the beast that is Ohio State, but who knows? Maybe another team in the Big Ten had a halfway decent season. We're just unaware of it. I'm going to hit X, and we're going to see. And oh my God, we did it. You see this? 12-0. We did it. We're the number 1 team in the country. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. We're the number 1 team in the country. I can't believe it. Let's look over the schedule now. We have to, because we have some ranked teams on here, folks. Colorado ended up finishing 16th in the country, and we barely beat them to start the year. Beat up on Syracuse pretty bad, who was bad once again. Beat up on Miami, who actually had a good year. Wow, interesting. Texas Tech was a lot worse than I thought they would be, but we beat them pretty good. Minnesota gave us quite the fight they typically do. That game's typically close, regardless of the records. Wisconsin ended up having a decent year here, finished 15th, maybe threw their hat in the Big Ten race here, but a loss to us is certainly not going to help that. Beat up bad on Purdue, who also finished above 500. We don't know how much longer they're going to do that, but we did beat them. Iowa was ranked at the time of this game, so Iowa was ranked in the top 25, but we beat them, and obviously their season did not recover. Ohio State suffers 1 loss on the year, and it's to us. In the shoe, baby. We did it. We did it. And then we beat up on Northwestern, Indiana, and Michigan State, the back end of our schedule. All 3 of the worst teams in the Big Ten, just back to back to back, just bing, bang, boom, giving us a 12-0 record on this season. So now we're going to simulate through Conference Championship Week and see who will be playing in the BCS National Title game, since obviously we're going to be going ranked number 1 in the country. So let's exactly see what fate awaits us here as we simulate through the games here. So we have a linebacker of the year award. Obviously LeBron Pierce has to win an award. I mean, it'd be nonsensical for him to not win one. I think it's the first time I've ever won this award, by the way. So Penn State linebackers, man, rise up. Okay, number 11, our new number 11, rise up here. So we win an award there. We also win quarterback of the year. So Chris Boyer, I told you, what did I tell you? I told you, a healthy season of Chris Boyer, quarterback of the year award potential recipient, man. I told you guys that if he has a healthy season, he could probably get there, and he does. So we got 2 award winners on the team here. We're still not done. Abed and Eric goes to LeBron Pierce. LeBron Pierce is decorated, boys. He is decorated. Just give him all the hardware now. We got to make him champion now, obviously, but yeah, I mean, this is he is decorated, man, decorated. And that is going to be the Heisman results here. So we didn't even get any Heisman votes. Come on, give me 1 Heisman vote, man, for something, man. And it looks like. Excuse me? Excuse me? Hold on. This this throws a wrench into everything I've understood about the BCS system in this game. I have no idea how, who, if, and, or what. No clue. Don't get it. I don't understand. The sim is broken. We're going to look at it immediately, just spoil it ourselves, I guess. Here's North Texas, again, 1 loss, only making it to the New Orleans Bowl, RIP. Okay, we are the national championship game, 1 versus 4. Are the rankings still here? Let me see if the rankings are still there. Okay, yeah, they are here. Let's look at it, because I'm a little bit lost here. Oh. My controller's a little, just give me, hold on, hold the phone. Everybody hold the telephone. So we obviously are here at first. Ohio State is 2nd in the BCS rankings here, ranked 4th in the country. Kansas State is 3rd, 2nd in the country, but they have 2 losses, but they are the Big 12 champs. So even winning the Big 12 championship game didn't help Kansas State at all. And then Colorado State here has one loss, and they're third in the country. And it looks like the computer's really not liking them at all. And Miami's here? Yeah, no, definitely not. Wow, I don't, yeah, this is interesting. This is just weird. Okay, so I guess we have a rematch with Ohio State in the national championship game. I didn't even know that this was possible. I didn't know that this could happen. Okay, but, so that's just what's going to happen, I guess. Sorry, guys. I just losing my mind. I have no idea what's happening. So this video is already going to run super long. Sorry about that. But when we come back here, we're going to be pitting it up against the Ohio State Buckeyes, who, despite the ranking on their national rank, looking at their overall ranks, defense, offense, they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the country. So it's going to be an absolute slugfest down in Miami in the Orange Bowl, and who knows if we'll be able to win it. I have no idea, but we are on a 21-game win streak and would obviously love to keep it. So we'll see if we can do that and grab our first national championship, make LeBron Pierce a national champion, as well as Bednarik Award winner and a linebacker of the year, and of course get Chris Boyer a ring as well. So we'll see if we can do that and get Fred Kirk his first ring in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching this long-winded video, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we're going to be playing a big one, man, in the national title game.